welcome you guys to the Tuesday Hope for Business Tuesday night huddle. It is so good to see your faces. Once again, some of you, like Lawrence Finley, I saw your face last night. Man, thank you so much for coming back. I'm just going to stroll through here, and I want to see if there's some faces of people I recognize. Why don't we just start off by just seeing if there's anybody here on the line for the first time. To just take a few seconds because we got a lot of ground that we're looking to cover today. If you're here for the first time, just state your name and tell us why you're here tonight. Anybody? You would have to get it off of phone. Get it off of you.
Elisa Pryor.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Very good.
Good, good, good. What brings you to our huddle tonight for the first time?
Because I'm interested in what you guys talk about on your huddles.
All right. Well, good deal. Thank you so much for coming. Anybody else there?
I'm Latasha Brim, and I'm here for the first time. I'm the ED of the Florida Council for Incarcerated and Formerly Incarcerated Women and Girls in Gainesville, Florida, and I actually work with a lot of formerly incarcerated and incarcerated individuals, and I'm interested in what's happening here tonight.
All right. Well, good deal. Thank you for joining us all the way from Florida. Thank you so much. Who else?
Sean Camry.
Hey, Sean.
I just got out. Hey, how you doing? I just got out of Casa Grande about a week and a half ago, and I just graduated the program on Friday.
All right. Well, I'm glad you jumped in there, Sean. Was it a good week for you last week?
It was. It was a busy week, but it was a good week.
Good deal. I'm going to put you on the spot. If you could just drop one thing, tell us one thing that just dropped in your toolbox last week that was that aha moment that got you ready to get back to the business of life.
So, I mean, my favorite thing about it was, I mean, there was a lot of stuff, man, a lot of stuff, but the best thing I got out of it was keeping your attitude at an altitude to where the snakes can't get to you. That was my favorite thing, man.
That's good. That's good. Thank you so much for sharing that, man. Appreciate you
Yes, sir.
jumping
Yes, sir.
on the line. How about anybody else from last week's session who finished up last week? Maybe you could talk about just one thing that you got out of last week that just kind of made the difference and got you all excited.
I'll say some.
Okay.
Hello, it's Brandon right here. And
Hey,
I want
Brandon.
to say, I got a lot of things out of you, John, especially, man. Even though those speakers were great, a lot of the things that you said, I think that's just because you've been there, you know,
Right.
and whatnot. But they were good too. And one thing that I really liked and were really, because I need this. This what I need is to not give up.
Yeah.
And when Homeboy talked about, excuse me to say Homeboy, but his name was Greg Kettle.
Greg Ketter. Yeah. Yeah.
Ketter.
Uh-huh.
And he said he was damn homeless, working in a damn Radio Shack or Circuit City or something.
Right.
And he didn't give up, you know.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's hard not to give up. I've almost gave up already. I almost, here's something I didn't tell you guys. But Saturday night, I almost left to go back to California. I almost went on the run, you know.
Okay.
I had this meeting on Monday. And I didn't know what you guys were about or nothing, but I said, you know what? I'm going to go check it out. I'm going to stay. I'm not going to go on the run. I'm going to stay.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a try.
Right.
And I'm glad that I did, you know.
Right. Yeah. Well, good deal, man. I honor and I greatly appreciate you saying that. You know, it's instances like this why it's so important that we huddle up because, you know, this huddle is like the glue, man. It's going to keep you connected to the family. And as I told you, shared with you guys last week, right? You know, one of the biggest challenges that we have when we're walking away from a life that we used to live is that we have to fight the gravitational pull backwards into that thing that I'm getting away from. So I applaud you for, you know, still being here, not going out on a run. And I think this is going to get easier and easier over time as you're walking into this brand newness of life. So I salute you for being here and making the right decision. Who else?
Thank you.
Who else? Anybody else?
Hey, John.
Yes, sir.
John, how you doing, John?
Well, I'm outstanding. DP.
Hey, yeah. Hey, I just want to introduce myself because I see a lot of new people, a lot of graduates just graduated. I just want to introduce my name is DP. For everybody that don't know me, I see a lot of new faces on here. It's my pleasure to sit down and meet each and every one of you. You know, I've been doing this for going on 12 years now, and I just want everybody to know that we do a huddle on Friday called DP's Connection. You know, and I just want to touch the gentleman just got off, said that he almost bounced to California. Like my brother was saying, man, that's why huddles and staying connected is so important. Because when we out there on our own, we tend to give up on ourselves. And everybody need a shoulder to lean on. My saying is, go-to people need go-to people. I don't care what level or the arena you at, go-to people need go-to people. And we here at Hope for Prisoners, either it's Tuesday or
Art, look like
anybody that wanna log into Zoom on a Friday night, just hit my brother up here, give the link. And I also have the link on Facebook. So everybody is welcome, the graduates, the mentees, the mentors, and all the supporters. Come on down and join us. Thank you.
Right. Well, good job, DP. Thank you for that incredible job that he does on Friday night. If anybody's interested and need a spot to go to on a Friday night so we can stay, connected as a family, make sure that you reach out to Art Green, and Art will get that link over there. Get over there to you for that Friday night huddle. How about a big shout out to our family out in Casa Grande? How you guys doing? All right. So good to see you guys joining. Is Michael Russell in the room there with you? Is that Michael standing in the back there? Mr. Russell, thank you so much for making sure you arrange that for our family and our friends there inside Nevada Department of Corrections. Man, I tell you, we have a great speaker. You know, we always go out to make sure, reach out across the country to make sure that we get some great speakers to come in and just encourage us and motivate us and teach us and train us and just to impart some hope in us. And, you know, it gives me an honor and a privilege today to introduce you to Dr. Joe Johnson, who's going to be running our huddle up today. You know, it's always really exciting when I'm introducing these phenomenal speakers and these great leaders, right, to come into our huddle. And for those of us who follow football, listen to this, those of us who follow football, by show of hands, how many people follow football? Right, by wave hand. Mike, you don't like football? Yeah, I see you. Right, but listen, when we turn on the TV or we go to a game, we don't go to the game to watch the huddle. We don't go to the game to watch the huddle. We go to the game to see the difference that the huddle is going to make. Does that make sense? Dr. Joe Johnson is a highly regarded international speaker on unleashing your purpose. He has worked with dozens of highly recognized organizations across the United States like Toyota and Federal Express and the National Guard, helping to transform culture and develop employees professionally and personally. With a PhD in counseling education, common sense and street sense, Dr. Joe's versatility allowed him to gain over 20 years experience and transformational work. He has worked in and with the K through 12 school system, higher education institutions like the University of Michigan and UCLA, and Fortune 500 companies, and many individuals rediscovering their true selves and ready to unleash their purpose. His insight has been seen on many national platforms like NBC, VH1, and several other media outlets. As the author of the book, Pursue Your Purpose, Not Your Dreams, Pursue Your Purpose, Not Your Dreams, and the creator of the Strategic Goal Setting Mastermind Group, Dr. Joe continues to transform the lives of individuals and take organizations to their next level by helping them to think, act, and live with purpose and intention. It gives me an honor and a privilege to welcome to our Tuesday night huddle up, Dr. Joe Johnson. Please give him a big, gigantic Hope for Prisoners wave, a round of applause. Thank you, Joe, for being here.
Let me unmute myself, man. I had to smile, man. Hey, listen, I'm so happy to be out here. I'm so happy to be on here with y'all. I wish I could have been in person, but because of this coronavirus thing, we got to do this online. So first, I just got to say, thank you so much, Brother John Ponder, man. You've been a blessing to so many people, but also, man, just the opportunity to meet you, I think 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and for us to reconnect so that this can happen. I'm super excited just to not only for you to come back into my life, but for me to be able to impact the work that you're doing with so many people. So thank you so much. But let's rock and roll, y'all. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing tonight? Good. Come on now. I gotta see some teeth, some smiling, or something. Because I'm an energy guy. So if I was in person, I'd make sure the energy was right. All right. But listen, I'm gonna share something about myself, and then I'm gonna actually teach just a little bit. And one of the things that I'll share with you is I'm from the zip code 53206. And what they say about 53206 is that we have the highest incarceration rate for Black males in America. That's what some of the research says. And when you grow up in a space like that, in an area like that, you're not thinking about this is the hood or this is what a so-called ghetto, right? You just living. And one of the things that a lot of people don't say is that there are a lot of good people that are in this so-called hood. But the first thing I'm gonna share with folks is the hood is not a place. The hood is a state of mind. That's why you have people that leave the so-called hood and they have the same issues, right? And one of the other parts that I learned growing up is oftentimes the environment that we live in, it can harden us. It can harden us, but life is nothing but a series of moments that develop from the choices you make within those moments, right? Now, there's some historical context to a lot of this. We understand that certain neighborhoods were designed and set up, if you know history, right? We know the game, a lot of us, but what we have to understand is if we allow our environments to stay consumed in our soul, right? Because a lot of this has a lot to do with working on our souls. I always say there's a mindset that you got to have, there's a heart set that you got to develop, and there's a soul set that you got to make sure you're working on. Because if you don't fix all three of those, you get stuck in the same situation, right? But I want to share this with you because I went to the store the other day. You know, my wife and I, you know, we decided to have just a few cocktails. So I went to the store and I'm in the store and a guy looks at me. I have my mask on. He looks at me, I look at him, and I'm always, my wife tells me, what's wrong with you? You always watching your back, I said, that's just how I grew up. I'm used to making sure I'm aware of my surroundings. So he look at me, I look at him, and you know, I caught the vibe. It wasn't no nastiness or no negativity, but he was checking me out, I was checking him out in terms of just like, who is this? And I left it alone. So I go pay for my stuff that I bought, and at the same time, he was next to me at the register. And the young ladies behind the register, and I believe it was a family-owned store, they started to crack jokes, and they said to him, hey, don't you walk out of here with that stuff. Don't be trying to rob us. And they were jokingly saying that to him. And this was a young Black male. He probably was about 28, 27 years old. And he said to them, look here. And he said it in a joking way as well. He said, look here, I just got home. I just did 8 years. He said, I'm not no robber. I just got out for killing me a nigga. Right? That's what he said. So I kind of glanced. I'm like, all right. I get it. But in my head, I said, why are you sharing that with these folks who don't know you? Right. And I understand that he may have just gotten out. But then what he said was, and you got to understand, I'm not a robber. He said, I'm not a robber, but I sell dope now. And he's saying this in a public environment. And I'm thinking, and I really want to just say, look at young brother, what's up? But he was in a zone, and I just said, you know what, I'll leave it alone. But sometimes I got to process situations. But the first thing that I begin to think about is the fact that oftentimes we get into a situation, no matter what it is. I got boys that are locked up. I got family members that been in and out of jail. I use sports to get out of my situation. But what we got to understand is oftentimes we get into bad situations from the choices that we make or circumstances that we're in, and we take the wrong L. Right? We take the wrong L. What I mean by that is so many people say, you know what? I didn't win, I lost. I didn't win, I lost. And what I always share with individuals, in this world that we live in now, you don't win or lose. That's the wrong L. It's not a loss that you're taking. You either win or you learn. That's the mentality that you got to have. So when you go into a situation where you're coming out and you're transitioning, it's about what did you learn during your time? What did you learn from OGs? What did you learn from people that have been in there longer than you? What did you learn from people who may be a little bit more educated than you? And let me share this with you. Just because I'm Dr. Joe Johnson, that don't make me better than you, because I guarantee you some of y'all know a hell of a lot more than me. I never forget being in school, in grad school, and I told them, I said, man, I go back to my neighborhood and hire some of my boys from the block before I hire some of y'all in this classroom. And boy, they got pissed at me. They didn't like that. And I had to break it down and say, do you not understand? They are smart. They might be using it in a different way, but they are smart. They know money. They know systems. They know security. They know everything. But they didn't understand that because that's not where they came from. But once again, we got to learn how to transition and use what we've learned in a new way, right? So this is what I want you to think about before I get into teach mode, right? The question I want you to begin to ask yourself right now is, what have you been programmed to believe? What have you been programmed to believe? See, I know there's somebody watching this right now that many of you have been programmed to believe something very simple. Many of us have been programmed, especially when you think about traditional education, many of us have been programmed to believe that there's one way to be successful, right? They told us a long time ago when we were kids growing up, all you got to do is graduate high school. You need to go to college and graduate and you get a good job. That's a lie. That's a lie. I learned quickly. That's not how the game works. That's not how the game works. But see, what we also have to learn is there's not one way to do something. There's not one way to be successful, right? 5 plus 5 is 10. 9 plus 1 is 10. 7 plus 3 is 10. 15 minus 5 is 10. Those are 5 different ways, 4 or 5 different ways to get to 10. There's not one way to get to 10. And what we got to understand is it's important for us to reprogram ourselves, and I'm going to get into that, but we got to understand that we've been programmed to operate certain ways, and when you don't reprogram yourself, you miss out on opportunities. Another thing we've been programmed to believe, and I guarantee many of y'all have heard this. Many of y'all have been living by the programming of, you got to stay loyal, bro. You got to stay loyal. It's important for you to remain loyal. You got to remain loyal to the hood. One of the things that I learned right away is nobody really owned anything in the so-called hood. Everybody rented. So how are we trying to protect everything that we don't even own in that neighborhood? Right? So I had to switch my mentality. I had to switch my mentality. And I definitely had to let go of that mentality. And I get where it comes from. And I understand it. And I lived by it for a minute, right, of loyalty. But what I learned is that there's an expiration date on loyalty. There's an expiration date on loyalty. The same way you see expiration on that gallon of milk, the same way you see expiration on that cheese or on those eggs, there's an expiration date on loyalty. And some of us, we've been loyal to people who haven't even been loyal to us. We've been loyal to ideas that haven't done any good for us. We've been loyal to programming that has done nothing but hurt us our whole lives. So what have you been programmed to believe, right? You got to reprogram yourself. And this is the time. Opportunities like this to huddle up, this is the time. And I want to let you know, one, that I'm proud of you. For those that have graduated, those that are alumni, those that are getting ready to graduate through this program, I'm proud of you. But I'm going to say this. This is your time. This is your time. And you have to understand, your life isn't just about you. I know some of y'all got sons, you got daughters, you got husbands, you got wives. Right? You have family, you got friends, you have people that want you to win. You have people that when you win, they win. You have people that when they see you succeed, they get the motivation and the inspiration to succeed. So your life isn't just yours. So it's important for you to understand, take advantage of your ability to level up in life. We don't want no more excuses. I stopped using excuses because what happens is many of us, we like to wait on people to give us something, but I said life don't work like that. We got to create the life that we deserve. Everybody that's paying attention to me, you deserve the life that you want. And it's all about positioning yourself, gaining the necessary tools and knowledge so that you can create what it is that you deserve, right? We can't sit in the things that happened to us in the past. And I get it. It's a whole lot of craziness and foolishness that happened to me. I could talk about guns being put on me. I could talk about stuff that happened with my family and my friends. I could talk about all of that. But I knew there was a certain life that I wanted for myself and for my family. And I knew that people were watching me. So your life isn't just yours. So your success is my success because you inspire other folks. All right? Now let me get into this teaching mode before I get to some questions, all right? There's a process that I created. So my first book was called Pursue Your Purpose, Not Your Dreams. And I'm working on my third book. And I'm writing about this process called the R4 process. The R4 process. So if you have a pen, if you have a paper, if you have your phone, whatever, any way that you can take notes, I want you to take notes. And the R4 process is 4 different steps, and I'm going to walk you through them. And that first R stands for reflect. Reflect. See, I know that many of you will oftentimes, you're sitting down and you're reflecting, but so often the world is moving so fast. You have so much that you're thinking about. You're thinking about, am I going to get out? You're thinking about what's going to happen when I get out. You're thinking about, what is my girl with somebody else now? You're thinking about what's going on with my kids. You're thinking about so much. But when you reflect, it's time for you to sit down and just think about your life. Think about how'd you get into the situation where you are. Think about where you want to go. Think about the skills that you do have. Think about the information that you want to learn. It's time to reflect. And the world moves so fast and so much has happened to us, right? So much has happened to our hearts, our souls, our minds, that we don't just sit down and reflect, right? You got to reflect. And it's not just thinking about it. You start to write down all of this information. What were some of the choices that I made, right? Historically, what was going on in my neighborhood that made me think I had to live this way? What was going on with my family? What was going on with my friend? Write all of this stuff down. You got to reflect, because whenever you're getting ready to transition, you got to know what happened to you and where you're starting from, right? That's the first R, reflect. Reflect. The second R, which is most critical, is release. Release. Right? And when I talk about release, what release means I know that many of you all have been through hell. I know that many of you all, you're dealing with so much pain, right? There's somebody watching me right now that maybe your family, there's a history of drug abuse. There's a history of maybe folks have been molested. There's a history of going in and out of prison, a history of gangs. There's a history of things, right? You're dealing with a lot of pain. You've been impacted. There's so many traumatic experiences that you had. But I'm here to let you know, as a trained counselor, I graduated from one of the top institutions, the University of Florida, right? But as a trained counselor, I want you to understand that if you never allow yourself to release some of those things, release yourself from those traumatic experiences, release yourself from that pain, you'll never be able to move forward and transition with purpose and fully align yourself with your purpose. And releasing means getting the necessary help that you need, right? It may be a therapist, right? Releasing means getting rid of some of the people that you've been rocking with that got you in that situation in the first place. Releasing means getting rid of some of those thoughts and those bad habits that you've had your whole life. Releasing means getting rid of all those things that can allow you to move to your next level. If you never release yourself from that pain, if you never release yourself, matter of fact, release also has to do with you forgiving yourself, right? If you never forgive yourself for whatever it is you did, whatever it is that you said, you'll never be able to transition with purpose, right? So you got to release yourself from this stuff, right? So number one, we have reflect, right? That's the first R. The second R is release. The third R, which is extremely important because I asked you earlier, what have you been programmed to believe? That third R is very simple, is you got to reprogram yourself. You got to reprogram yourself, right? You got to reprogram your mind. You got to reprogram the people that you're around, right? You got to reprogram your actions. You got to reprogram. And see, just like a cell phone, just like a computer, just like any technology, as a human, you must be updated as well. Just like a cell phone, right? Some of y'all got cell phones, you get that, you get that message, it's time to upgrade your system, right? You got to upgrade yourself. That's all reprogramming is, right? New knowledge, new information. getting around people who radiate what it is that you want. Because many of us talk about, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to be, but a lot of us, we want to put ourselves around people that are just as broken as we are and get advice from them. Life don't work like that. You got to maneuver and get yourself around people that radiate and that are doing the things that it is that you want. And guess what? This technology that we're using right now, Zoom, right? Any way that you can tap into individuals, even if you don't know them, any way that you can tap into information, individuals to upgrade your knowledge and to reprogram yourself, you got to do it. You got to do it. And some of us think that we can transition and live purposefully with the same knowledge and actions and habits that got us into the situation that we don't like to be in. You got to reprogram yourself, right? That's number 3. And the last R, which is very simple, right? We got reflect, that's number 1. We got release, that's number 2. We have reprogram, that's number 3. And the last R is restart. Restart. Everybody on this video call, everybody listening to me, you have the capacity to restart. You have the capacity to start fresh. You have the capacity to do it. And part of restarting is making sure that you're following, right, that system that I just gave you. Reflect, release, reprogram, and restart. And when you restart, don't look back. When you restart, if somebody tells you you're acting funny or you're acting a little bit different than you used to, or you change, and you let them know, I'm supposed to change. I'm not supposed to be who I was. Because you can't be who you're gonna be and who you used to be at the same time. Life don't work like that. Life do not work like that, right? So when you restart, you say, this is what I deserve in my life, and I'm restarting right now, and this is what I'm gonna do no matter what nobody say, and let's move. It's go time. It's go time. So once again, you have reflect, you have release, you have reprogram, and you have restart. Listen, I have an equation for myself that I live by, right? Because many of y'all on this call, I know you're very spiritual. I know your prayer life is real, because my prayer life is mean. I may not go to church every Sunday, but my prayer life is mean. And I tell people all the time, some of y'all are so busy praying, you forget the other pieces of the equation. See, you gotta pray, right? I'm giving you my equation. You gotta pray, you got to meditate, and you got to have action in there, right? Because prayer is you talking to the higher power, right? Meditation is you listening to the higher power, right? And action is you taking what the higher power told you and taking what God told you to do, and you're moving with it. You can't just pray and sit and say, okay, it's going to happen. No. You got to put that work in. You got to put that action in. My equation for myself, and you can take it if you want to. Pray, meditate, action equals results. Pray, meditate, action equals results. Oh, I hope y'all take that. I know some of y'all vibing with that. I know some of y'all can feel that. I see a few smiles on here. I see a few head nods. I love it. I'm gonna close out with this story while I get ready before I take some questions. But I'm gonna close out with this story. When I was younger, I would hang with my 2 older cousins. Y'all know how that is. You know, you got your big cousins. You see them out. They got, for me, they had the girls. They had a little bit of money. They was out there in these streets, right? And I said, man, I want to hang with my cousins. So I would hop in the car with my big cousins. Sometimes I knew what they was doing. When you see a pistol on the floor and you see a little work, you know what they doing. But you like, that's big cuz. Big cuz got it. So I'm riding with one of my big cousins, and we used to hang with one of my other cousins. So both of them were older than me. But my other cousin, he started to do things that was out of pocket. He started to operate in a way I said, man, I can't even hang with cuz, because he doing some things that I know, right? And so me and my older cousin, we backed off away from our other cousin. And I was in college. I went off to college, and I'll never forget, because for me, oftentimes I'm in the shower, I'm just sitting in silence, I'm reflecting, and thoughts and ideas come to mind. And I remember the number 4 and the letter P kept coming to my head. I'm like, the number 4, the letter P, I didn't realize. I'm like, what, 4P? I'm like, whatever. So I was sitting down after I got out the shower, and it clicked. It clicked. and I realized what the 4 P's meant, right? And I started to think to myself, if my cousin, who we stopped hanging with, would have understood the 4 P's, if my cousin would have had this burned in his brain, if it was programmed in his heart and his soul, if he understood what the 4 P's meant, he would still be here. Because I got a call one day, the phone was ringing, and I got a call, and they said they found him, they found him. They found my cousin that we stopped hanging with, shot in the head about 6 blocks from where we live. And they always say to myself, if my cousin would have understood what these 4 P's meant, he would be here to this day. And the 4 P's are very simple. The 4 P's are, you are a product of the people you place in your presence. You are a product of the people you place in your presence. See, I get tired of young folks telling me that in school they want to be on the honor roll, but they only want to hang with people that never want to study. I get tired of athletes telling me that they want to start on a football or basketball team, but they only want to hang out on the block. They only want to put the work in. I get tired of people telling me that they want to be CEOs, but they only hang around people that have employee mentalities. You are a product of the people you place in your presence. This is a shirt that I got on, y'all. You are a product of the people you place in your presence. That's real. And if you don't get anything out of what I said today, if you don't think about tapping into your purpose, if you don't think about transitioning with purpose, if you don't think about what does it take for you to jump into that journey towards your purpose, you will not live a life fulfilled. You will not live a life fulfilled. So I want you to think about that R4 process: reflect, release, reprogram, restart. And I want you to think about, what is your equation, right? Remember, pray, meditate, action. And I also want you to think about the 4 P's. And like I always tell folks, in this time of life, you do 2 things. Either you evolve or you evaporate. I'm Dr. Joe Johnson. I appreciate y'all listening to me. Pursue your purpose, not your dreams. Thank you so much.
Man, give him a hand. Was that not good? Oh my gosh. That was some absolute fire. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Joe Johnson.
Yes,
That
yes.
was incredible, man. I know that there are some comments and questions that we have for Dr. Joe Johnson, and Art is going to be controlling that. What I want to do first, because I know you guys are lined up there, I want to turn to our folks over in Casa Grande, our family and friends. And Michael, do we have anybody at Casa Grande who would like to make a comment about what Dr. Joe Johnson indicated? Man, that was powerful. He said, reflect, release, reprogram, and restart.
Yes.
My goodness, my goodness. Who do we have over at Casa Grande? I'm having difficulty hearing, Michael. I'm sorry, Mr. Green.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you now. If you could speak up really, really loud.
Okay, glad to. Hi, John. My name's Morgan.
Hi, Morgan.
Hi. Hi, Dr. Joe. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this. I know us at Casa Grande really appreciate those. It's a lot of words that we definitely need to hear.
Yes, yes.
For me, especially, that first R that you touched on really resonated with me, because right now we're definitely being forced to reflect quite a bit. So we're used to going out to work and having lots to do, and unfortunately with COVID, you know, we're forced to kind of sit on our butts and think quite a bit about why we're here, the choices that we've made. And at first, to me, that felt like quite a loss. You know, the loss of not being able to see my family, the loss of not going to work, not feeling productive. And so instead of seeing that as a loss, like you said, I can see that as a lesson. So for me, that R really resonated with me tonight. So I'll take that with me. I
love it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Morgan. Dr. Joe, if you want to respond to her, we can move on. But that was a time to reflect, you know, being incarcerated in there, stuck, a time to reflect. I see somebody else up in there. You want to respond to her, or we can go on to the next person?
Yeah, I'll just say, you know, write those lessons down, right? Because what a lot of us like to do is we like to think about things, and it's up here. And think about it. Sometimes you have a great idea, but you don't write it down, and you're like, damn, I should have wrote that down, right? Write this stuff down. You got to. So write all those lessons down.
Right. Good deal. Good deal. Who next? I see someone else there at Casa Grande. How you doing? Speak up loud and clear.
Hi, Mr. Ponder. This is Keisha Harris. How you doing, Dr. Joe?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm blessed. I just wanted to tell you, thank you for coming. We do appreciate these huddles. We were wondering, because we are on lockdown over here. I'm speaking for myself and everybody else. If you could possibly, if you have any books that you may be able to send us or any reading material, so we can keep this fresh in our mental.
Listen, I got you. I'll make sure that you all can you either physical copies or e-copies, whatever I gotta do. I'll make sure you get some books. I promise.
Good deal.
T-shirts too. The T-shirts too.
Look, you trying to get it all now, huh?
That is so good. That's good. That's good. We have any other questions? We have anybody have any questions in the chat for Dr. Joe?
I saw Beth Rita's name in the comments.
Okay. Beth Rita, you there? Then I'm going to go to Suzuki. Beth Rita, are you there? Well, Art, what we'll do is we'll circle back to Beth. Suzuki, what did you think about Dr. Joe's release, reprogram, and restart? Was that some good stuff?
That is some good stuff. So hello, everyone. I'm Suzuki Carlson. I'm part of the family now. I'm one of the newest case managers for Hope for Prisoners. And every day I get something so exciting and so amazing. But one thing that Dr. Joe resonated or that talked about that really resonated with me was the 4 Ps. You are a product of the people you place in your presence.
Right.
And so just to give you a little background on my story, Dr. Joe. So I went back to college in my 30s. I'm a first generation college student. And so it's never too late. I didn't get in trouble, but my life was, you know, I always knew I'd go back to school, and to find your self back in school in your 30s could be a little bit challenging, let alone being Hispanic and, you know, first generation college student. Yeah. So obviously it can be done. It takes hard work, but I am a product of the people I place myself around, like my professors, the people, your mentors, all these things, regardless of where we are in our life, it's never too late.
That's right. That's
and
right.
So I definitely believe in that. And now to be in John's presence is amazing. I have learned so much from these graduates that, like, don't take it as a loss. It is a life lesson learned. Yeah. And we move forward. That's right. It. That's all we can do. And, you know, everything that you said just makes sense. Reflect, release, reprogram, restart. We've all had to do that at some point in our life. Yep. It doesn't mean that just because we live a different lifestyle but everybody, we're all humans. We're all here together. We all want happiness. And one thing that you mentioned that I practice a lot is meditation in the morning. Yeah. It really changes your perspective for the day. Yep, it really does. And so I want to tell all the graduates, congratulations. I saw the progress and it's just amazing. And I'm here, anything you need, any questions, I'm happy to help you guys, guide you in whatever I can. But yeah, we have to forgive each other for all of the things that we've done and just move forward. Yep. That's it.
Right. Thank you so much, Suzuki. Thank you so much. And Dr. Joe, when you you hit something that really resonated with us, because we have this saying around Hope for Prisons that we really drill into. And what that saying is that my associations determine my destination.
That's right.
Yes.
Right. Right. And I say the same thing. I was going to get up and run around this room when you said that, you're like the people, right? If you show me who your friends are, yes, I will tell you exactly who you're going to be 2 years down the road, guaranteed. Yeah. Right. I think that you can trace every success and shortcoming in your life to the people that were in the world around you. Yep. Right. Your associations determine your destination. You got to surround yourself with people who are getting the results that you want to get out of life.
That's right.
Yeah. Art, who we got next, Art?
Let's see. I don't see any questions, but I see some new faces. I see the Armstrongs out there.
Okay. Is that Michael Armstrong? Madam Armstrong, there's Mike. Mike, what do you think about Dr. Joe's 4 R's? Gotta hit that mute button.
My bad.
There we go.
You know, I say that the truth mirrors itself. You know, any of us who are out here serving people and love God and are following His word know that we're in alignment. And what He said is the same message as each one of us.
Andre, you gotta hit that mute button.
Okay, yeah.
There we go.
So
thanks, Art.
all I'm saying is he reinforced things that I know that we discuss in our personal life here in our home. So we know we're going down the right road, and we're looking for the same thing, whether it's in our personal life or trying to serve the people at Hope for Prisoners or serve our community in some other capacity. But to hear those things and know that it's the truth being mirrored, that was a blessing to me. That was a big blessing to me, and I really hope that this was a blessing to everyone else. And I tell you what, we all, you know, we street. You know what I mean? That common sense, street sense, and all that. We know what's up.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how that combination, once you get some things figured out, can help so many people. You know what I mean? So he was on fire. He blessed me. We both took notes. We got this. And we just want to say thank you, Dr. Joe Johnson, man. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, I really hope that everybody on this call was blessed and you know, is actually moving now in a direction that is going to help lift them up, because that's how I feel. That type of language, it was short and it was powerful.
Yeah.
It was impactful. You know what I mean? And that's how you know. They say anything that you have to say, if it can be said simply, is powerful. Joe came out today and represented.
Yeah, that's good.
I want to hang out
That
with
is so
this guy.
good. Yes. And what I want everybody to do right now is his wife, his wonderful wife sitting next to her. I want you guys to all wave at his wonderful wife. And Mrs. Armstrong, by us waving, she's a Hope for Prisoners mentor, but she's also an incredible officer with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. So listen, by us waving to you right now, we just want to say thank you for your service to our community. Thank you for everything that you do.
Yeah. Can I also give a shout out to Casa Grande?
Sure.
Casa Grande. Hey, good luck to all of you guys at Casa Grande. I wish you guys all well, the men and women in that program. Big Mike, keep doing what you're doing. You know, we want all of you guys restored in our community. We want all you folks to be successful and to graduate and be a part of Hope and to keep your life, in your own hands. You know, take control of your life. It is yours. And start designing and creating the life that you want for yourselves and the life that you believe you're supposed to have. You're all worth it, you know. So know that from my heart.
That's good. Thank you so much, Big Mike.
Love everybody.
Michael Russell, is anybody else there at Casa Grande? Before we move on to anybody else with any questions, comments for Dr. Joe, I hope you guys take advantage of this opportunity to ask a question to the doctor, because he gets paid millions of dollars to take questions. And we got him here for free tonight.
Hey, because of Brother John, you got to know when to get around people that's doing great work. It ain't about money all the time. Sometimes it's just about the work and the message.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Any other Casa Grande folks? Any other questions, comments? How about was it Tashia from
Gainesville, right?
Gainesville? Yes.
Gainesville, yeah.
Gainesville. Are you still on the line there, Gainesville?
Yes, I'm still here.
Hey, before you give a question or comment, I want to let you know that I don't know, probably about 8 months ago, I was down in Gainesville. I had an opportunity to visit Baker Correctional Facility.
Yeah.
And what an incredible institution that you have down there in Baker. Going to be going back down to Gainesville once this COVID-19 lifts up. So, you know, my team and I would love to have the opportunity to, to connect with you while we're down there. But you have a question or comment for Dr. Joe?
Well, I guess more of a comment. I agree with everything Dr. Joe said about, the work beginning internally. Some of the things that we're doing down here are in my organization in particular, partnering with various other organizations throughout the city and the county, we're creating deflection and diversion programs in which when people are, prior to them exiting prison, we begin sort of healing work with them, mental health, emotional health, and well-being, because there's trauma generally that happens prior to being incarcerated within the justice system. There are other forms of incarceration that people experience, financial, emotional, relationship-wise, and whatnot. So we deal with those things first, and then also changing the narrative surrounding reentry, so that when people come home, they're met with open arms, as opposed to those stigmas that can sometimes, be damaging. But
Sure.
it begins on the inside, being strong within, and that's why beginning inside of while you're inside the prison, and also before that even happens, kind of working with people and getting them set up to actually begin to live the lives that they want to live, to build the lives that they want to build.
That is good. Thank you so much for sharing, Dr. Joe.
Yes, so I just want to say, Tashia, I would love to connect with you. My good friend Derry Lloyd is a detective down there in Gainesville, but I would love to just chat with you. So make sure we connect. I know I was in Gainesville for 7 years. I lived there for 7 years. I'm from Milwaukee, lived in Gainesville, but now I'm in the Detroit area. So I would love to connect with you.
Okay, and I do know Derry.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So
All
thank
right,
you.
well, good deal. Questions,
Okay.
comments for Dr. Joe? All right.
John, we have actually a celebration that we missed earlier, and I promised I would get back around to them.
Okay.
Hi.
What's the celebration?
So, well, I got a job. So finally, after
Who are we speaking
how many
to?
months?
It's Brittany Villanueva.
Oh,
hi.
Brittany. I'm sorry. Let me get back to you over here. I'm sorry. You said what? You said you got a job?
I did.
Oh, that's outstanding.
I did. It's a temporary medical. Yeah, hours temporary, but it'll be about 37 hours a week for now.
Oh, that is so
And I'm
wonderful.
gonna use my
Oh, that is good.
It happened.
All right. Well, good deal. Everybody give a big hope for
So I'm
Princess
very
Wave.
excited
So
about
proud
that.
of you. And then I also want you to wave at her superstar rock star mentor, Susie Moore.
Best mentor ever.
All right. Well, thank you so very, very much. Any other questions, comments?
I think I saw someone out there named Savvy J, John.
Okay.
Savvy out there.
Okay, Savvy J,
That is me.
what's your question you have for Dr. Joe?
It's less of a question and just say, so I'm a support system for somebody who's currently incarcerated, and the Hope for Prisoners program is something that my mom has like fully fallen in love with, and to see the work that y'all are doing and what it does for her and us to be here at home and see. And I swear it's like y'all knew the conversation we had on the phone the other day, because we're from Florida as well, and I'm South Florida. I'm sorry, I'm an emotional person, so I sound like I'm about to cry.
Oh, it's okay.
But we had the conversation the other day. I'm 23 years old, and I said I can count down 3 times growing up in South Florida. And you say you can leave the hood or the ghetto and still find that mindset somewhere. And I told her, I said, to see where you're at and where you've been and how and everything, and to see how I've changed my life for that. I left where I was at in Florida and completely restarted my life in South Carolina, and have surrounded myself with different people. And it's people like you guys who put that out in the world for us and put that for them to make the kids do better in their life. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of her and me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Savvy J, thank you so much.
Yeah, let me just say to Savvy J, one, I appreciate that share, and I appreciate you, that vulnerability. I just appreciate you. I don't even know you, but I can feel your soul right now. I can literally feel you. And you brought up something that's very important for folks to understand, because a lot of us miss out on tapping into the journey towards our purpose because we're convicted to stay in a geographical location. Let me tell you something. Just because you come from sunny LA, that don't mean that the spark of the journey towards your purpose is not in Alaska, right? So don't be so committed to a geographical location, because sometimes the best thing that you can do is get the hell out of where you're from or get away from what you're used to.
Yeah. That is so good. Savvy J, thank you so very much. Art, do we have anybody else out there before I call on the awesome Kim Malloy to see if she'd like to add a comment to what
There's
Dr.
an
Joe was?
iPhone out there with the hand raised, but there was no phone attached.
Okay.
I don't know. They may have dropped off.
All right.
I think we have Beth Rita back on the line.
Okay. All right. Beth Rita,
Hi.
what's your
Hi,
comment for Dr. Joe?
No, I'm just with a short message to you, Mr. Founder, and to everybody at Hope for Prisoners. My husband James Rita is getting out this Saturday from after 10 months long in prison.
Okay.
And he wants to say hi to all of you guys, and he needs the second chance again.
Okay.
He's off the paper and he's doing really great, but he's not forgetting his old friends, so he doesn't really, like, he says that he don't have to go to Hope for Prisoners, but I don't think that it's like that. I think he should remember his friends. Thank you,
Sure.
Mr. Founder, very much. We remember you, and he's gonna be out and he's gonna talk to you like probably next Tuesday himself.
Well, good deal. We'll look forward to see you. Make sure he says that, you know, he knows that after he stops there with you, his next stop is over here at Hope for Prisoners. Okay. All right.
Absolutely. First
Good.
stop is NTA, I think.
Yes.
But next
Yes.
stop is gonna be here.
All right. All right. All right. Is there any other
Thank you very
questions
much.
out there? Because I know that Dr. Joe
Ennis has one.
All right, good deal. Because we know that Dr. Joe is on the East Coast, so he's 3 hours ahead. Certainly
all right.
appreciate that.
I'm all
Christina
right, man.
Ennis. All right.
Hi, I'm Christina, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for your speech tonight. And what you had to say was really powerful for me. I have a brother that, well, I have several brothers, but my one brother just was released from the hospital today. And he's been seeking and searching for some things, and just he knows that there's some points that you made today that I'm definitely going to take back to him. And I hope that there's a way that I can take the recording from this and show it to him, because I think it's going to be really powerful for him. I just really appreciate your honesty, your transparency, and you're pretty amazing. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Like I said, if there's a way that I can get you a book, or you know, just I'll figure it out. I'll work with Brother John to figure out something. So we're gonna get something out there.
All right. Well, good deal. Good deal. All right. It looks like we have some people over at Casa Grande stepping up to the mic. Hey, man, how you doing?
How you doing? It's Dave Little.
Hey, Mr. Little, how's it going?
Wonderful. How you doing? Dr.
Doing
Joe,
good.
where are you from again?
I'm from Milwaukee. I'm from Milwaukee.
And where you at right now currently?
I'm in right outside Detroit.
Oh, right outside Detroit? All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I got those 4 R's that you were talking about, to reflect, release, you know, and but those really hit home for me, man. I think, you know, like one of my colleagues said here at Casa Grande, is that I had a long time to release a lot of things. I've been locked down for quite a while here. I mean, this is kind of hard for me. It's kind of do this whole little, you know, with all these people, it's kind of a little nerve-wracking. But to release, you know, I learned how to release here at Casa Grande. There's a lot of programs here. And thanks for John, man, is these programs that you have here at MRT. We got so many laptops here. I'm actually, today I enrolled in college, CSN, and I have a major for business. I've been studying about 5 weeks to try to take my math test. It's been crazy. Like I said, I've been locked down for 6 years. Getting on there is, it's new to me, you know. So it's like you said, it's coming out of my comfort zone, trying something new. So I can really relate to all that, you know. And I got to restart. I get out in 30 days, and hopefully, you know, everything's just got to fall into place here. And so I just get up and share a little bit of what's going on with me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Listen, hold on, stay right there, because let me share this with you, okay? Because what a lot of us like to do, listen, a lot of us like to wait until we have this big, massive win. Celebrate every single little win that you have. right? Every little thing. I don't care if, listen, I don't care if you Wednesday your fart smell nasty, Thursday it smell a little bit better. Celebrate every little thing. Celebrate every little thing because it matters, because all of those little wins get you to that major win, and then you're really gonna celebrate. So I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Hello, my name is Chastity Stone. First off, I want to say thank you and I appreciate you. Today's my birthday, so I'm just turned 30 years old. And I appreciate you and everything, and I like everything that you said today. I really took it to the heart due to the fact I've been living the same lifestyle I've been living since 13. Everything is starting to get old, tired. I'm 30 years old. I have a daughter that's about to be 11 years old, and I want to change. And the 4 R's that like totally opened my eyes to something. I just want to just say thank you and I appreciate you. And next week I get out on the 29th. And the other day I don't cry at all, but the other day I cried due to the fact because I'm nervous I'm getting out. I don't know how it is. I'm only gonna be a pro for 3 months. So what that being left said is I'm nervous on getting out. I don't know what to really do. I know I'm gonna check into the Hope for Prisoners when I get out. I'm probably go there that Friday. I get out on Wednesday. I'm gonna go there that Friday. What that being left said is I want to know the name of your books because I have a brother that's incarcerated, so he got like 10 more years, and I want to be able to send him your book in jail so he can read your words and read the stuff that you taught us today.
Well, before I even tell you the book, one, I am proud of you as well. All right, I'm proud of you. Listen, you make sure you go right to Hope for Prisoners, because look here, by this time next year, I want you to come back on here and telling us a story that's major, because I know that can happen. I know that can happen. So you when you get out, do what you got to do. I'm telling you, take that R4 process with you, share it with your brother, put it into your life. But I will, if you walk with it and you just trust yourself, get the necessary help that you need. Hey, I'm telling Brother John when we get off here, I'm like, yo, we gonna do more of this because I love this. I love the energy I'm getting from y'all. And at the end of the day, this is not about me trying to just say, hey, go buy my book. No. The stories that y'all are sharing with me is the reason why I do the work, right? That's the reason. So the book is called Pursue Your Purpose, Not Your Dreams. But any way that I can help Brother John help you all, I'm in. So thank you so much. Pursue Your Purpose, Not Your Dreams is the name.
Good deal. Good deal. Hey, before you leave, Michael Russell, would you come up front with her? And can you bring her back up in there?
Oh no.
Yeah. He said, "Oh no." Hey, so listen, because it is your birthday, right, Michael? What I want to do, Michael, is Art. Can we set it up for Thursday night, Michael? If it's a good night for you guys, I like to bring everybody back in there, and what I'm gonna do is bring in some more Cane's chicken, and we want to bring in a birthday cake. We want to bring in a birthday cake. And we're going to sing happy birthday to you. Looking forward to the day that you're going to be able to walk out. So, Mike, if Thursday is not a good night, let me know what night will be before she gets out, because I want to send that birthday cake in there and some cane chicken so we can celebrate you, because that's what we do for family.
Right.
This Thursday, John, would be great because otherwise I'll be up north. So.
All right. Good deal. We'll set it up for Friday. Art, can you just remind me to make that sure we set that up? All right. Hey, so listen, I hate to do this, but our time is coming to an end. It is 6:59. I just want to respect everybody's time and thank you to everyone who joined in on the call. Man, we are honored that you carved out some time to get to our Tuesday night huddle up. Man, this feeds my spirit. I know a lot of times, Dr. Joe, people say, oh, okay, thank you, John, thank you. No, thank you guys for, feeding in my spirit. A lot of times, we pour out. It's good to just sit down, reflect, and let other people feed into you, right? So that's what it is that each and every one of you guys do, and especially Dr. Joe, thank you so very, very much. Man, I promise you got to keep you on a short list. And when you said, hey, listen, John, whatever I can do to help, you better be careful what it is that you
Let me just say one thing and I'm done. All right, I want to make sure they know. So for those of you who, I'll just say this, one of the biggest lessons I learned, and I know we got to get off, in the last probably 6, 7, 8 months, is that we got to get our homes in order. And that starts with getting ourselves in order. And when you get yourself and your home in order, all the success will follow. So make sure you take that into consideration and follow me at Joe Johnson Speaks on social media, at Joe Johnson Speaks. And if some of you all want to learn more, you can go to purpose2020.com. But thank you so much. You will see me again. I'm not going to let Brother John get rid of me. You will see me again. Thank you so much.
Well, good deal. Everybody give Dr. Joe a big, gigantic hand. And we're going to be signing off for our Tuesday night huddle. We'll be back on next Tuesday night and looking forward to seeing your beautiful faces back out again. Good night, everybody.
Good night.